everybody. To do my coming in for my daily lives that I am trying to be committed to as much as I possibly can, but I am taking tomorrow off. So I just want to come in. We do wait for people to join in, so I'm just closing some of my other apps while I'm waiting here. So I just want to make sure I'm. Hi, everybody. Oh, Thorne, the spiritual. Some of my other. Whoops. Hi, Catherine. So I'm just coming in. I just came out of Women in Bloom, Edmonton. I was a speaker on there this morning. Such a beautiful event. So many amazing speakers. Met some amazing women. Made some connections. Love those things. I did have to leave because I had to get this done because the rest of my day is going to be dedicated to finishing up some endings that I need to do in preparing my books and my cards. So the rest of my day is going to be put there. So I'm in here with you guys first. So you were praying you would catch my live stream? Well, see, there you go, Catherine. You're in. You made her. So I am introducing today, and I am going to be pulling some cards today, but I'm introducing today the final design. We have nailed it down. We have got the final design of the Oracle cards. So this is the cover. This is the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards. It is Existing Beyond the Shadows is the subtitle. It's a part of the series of More Than Existing. So there's a whole series of books and a series of cards that all go into the More Than Existing Beyond the Shadows deck. So I have 5 books that'll be included. There'll be 1, 2, 3, 5 books. There'll be 5 books and the cards over the period of, hopefully over the next year, we can start to really get them out. It takes lots of money. These cards cost a lot of money to get them printed, but we are here. So if you were in the Women in Bloom Edmonton event this weekend and you did happen to see the talks or see my event, to see my speech, then thank you for being there. So if you are just watching my live for the first time, thank you. I have been waiting here just to let some people join in and see who we have watching with us today. You're watching with my Sadie Joy. Oh, God, I miss her so much. I'm used to FaceTiming her every single morning, and she hasn't seen her Nana now in a while. So, yay, Sadie, Nana's little girl. Nana loves you. So my little granddaughter is watching us today. She is here with us. And so as Joy brings her in here today, this cover, the picture, funny, Joy. So the cover that I actually brought up, the picture that I brought up first is the cover, the deck of the cards. And it's the number 1 card that's in the deck, not 0, it's 1. And so this card was sent to me on the day that my granddaughter was born, which was a year ago in June. And so this is our little image of our Sadie, but we called her Grace. So Sadie's middle name is Grace. So the card is called Grace. It is the innocence and the joy of when you become a grandmother or a crone energy. There's a return to an innocence. You find yourself being able to let everything else go. It doesn't matter. I'm grandmother. I can do whatever I want with her. And so we can have whatever fun. So you get to be childlike again and you return to the innocence of that child. Oh, she's listening to her granny. Oh, so little Sadie's energy is in here with us today. And yes, Nana's girl. So this is you on the screen, Sadie. This is the grown-up Sadie and the little innocence of her, but the card is called Grace. And so because Sadie is her own identity and she doesn't need to be created, we teach that. So welcome everybody. Now that we got some people in here, I am going to start with the cards. So I'm going to pull a first card to give us a start at this. There is somewhere else I have to be in 34 minutes. So I have to watch. I'm in some really good energy stuff that's been happening. I do have a channeled message that I was supposed to make I did make 2 days ago. And when I recorded it, There is no freaking sound. So I've had to wait for that message to kind of come back again, or a new message to come. So I have a new message. And if you were in yesterday, you heard me speak about, the spring equinox and the peace. Oh, and finding that peace within. Hold on. I got to message him. That's my partner. Hold on. Give me a second. Uh, just send him a text to let him know where I am. So anyway, yesterday I spoke about peace, and when I talked about peace yesterday, I was talking about inner peace, and I said the world is not fully at peace. Real life is happening yesterday, so I did try to answer him. And he doesn't have Facebook. He doesn't do any of this stuff. So he's like, I tell him we're like Dolly Parton and her husband. That's what we're like. That's what we live like. And so yesterday we talked about the inner peace and bringing up about, going inward to you. The world's not going to be at peace, but that's a whole big part of the messages that have coming through lately, and why I'm not recording a lot of them, because the world has enough things to worry, but we don't need to give. So in one of my lives a few days ago, I spoke about a big flood. I seen this flood. So apparently there was some big flood over the past few days as well. So there's a lot of energy that is showing up in weather right now. We have a lot of things that are happening that are not very pretty, not very nice, but you'd have to be watching the world to know of them. Well, we have a lot of things that are happening within our world, around us, in our own communities, in social media, that are also a war of words, thoughts, all of those things. And we have a kind of like we're hit, it feels as if we're hitting like some sort of tipping point. And so, we were all, and I write this in one of my books, we are all innocent until somebody tells us we're bad. We're all beautiful until somebody tells us we're ugly. We're all innocent until somebody tells us we're not. And that's such a truth to us. And the more that you start to tell yourself, the more you tell yourself the world is something to be afraid of, something to fear, the more feared you become of the world. And so when we start to live in that fear, hold on, I'm texting. I never do that on live. So when we become more fearful of the world, and so we're supposed to meet up with family today. So when you become more fearful and you tell yourself the world is an awful place, people around us are awful, when we start to tell ourselves that, well, that's what everything becomes, and that's what you draw in. Hello, 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 everybody. Good afternoon, Regina. So glad you got in. So yes, you're going to get to see a whole live happening. And so I'm pulling some cards that really resonates with that energy. And we are using my deck of cards, of course. This is the new, so I'm going to show you the new look today. So I just pulled out Frida. She is the stargazer, and this is an alignment. So we're hitting a tipping point. And if you looked out last night, you could see that we have hit like very close to that zero, like we're at that 0 degree in astrology. Yesterday was like the astrological new year. Aries is the first of the zodiac. I'm an Aries, it's that first thing. And so but it was the new year of the astrology. And we have a lot of that kind of energy, is that, we hit these pivotal points like we did when the new year came in, when you get to, just opening up this card, when a new year's coming and you get all excited because you think everything else is gone. Or it's the same thing when we try to ignore life, or when we hit like this 0 degree, or we hit this, we hit the astrological new year, we hit a new season, and we say, oh, yay, that means everything in the world is going to change. Yay, I can't wait. And then a week later, you're disappointed, you're pissed off at the world, you're mad. It's like setting resolutions, right? It's like you're just keep waiting for that one thing and nothing freaking happens. And then it's like, well, everything looks exactly the same. Well, because the one thing that was supposed to to pay attention and to bring about changes was you, not the world. It was you. You had an opportunity in that moment to spring yourself into creating a new fresh look, a new outlook on life, to start listening to something new, to start to see yourself new, to bring, instead of having those resolutions that you're going to set yourself up for failure, you're going to say to yourself, a new year is coming, a new season is coming, a new time is coming. Well, that's new. It's a new opportunity for me to give birth to some new ideas, some new pieces of me. What of me have I not been allowing myself to be? And in More Than Existing, we talk about this all the time, is that most times, most people do not realize that the person that they have paid for, that they keep supporting, that they keep trying to bring forward into More Than Existing, is the parts of them that they really truly need to let go of. It's not your truth. It's the persona. So the persona of who we are is what we keep trying to get into alignment with. So the parts of you that are not your true self is what you keep trying to get into alignment with. And that's what we have happening today in the energy. It's like, you see this whole, well, I'm awake, I'm aware, I've come to life, it's a new season, I'm going to put on my brighter clothes, and I'm going to get in alignment with this. Yeah. But just because we've seen the light, just because you've seen the light, it does not mean that you have matured to the potential of it. It doesn't mean that you have done the work to get to there. And so spiritual, emotional maturity is an absolute must. And so the stargazer is that she's holding in her hand everything that could be hers. She's like looking at it. Now, is she waiting for the world to be hers, or is she becoming a part of the world that is all of ours? Is she trying to own that, or is she trying to wait for something to show her? Like, that last piece of the puzzle she's holding in her hands, she only has to reach up and put it into place. But what keeps us from putting it in place is because the one thing that we don't change, the one thing that we don't want to change, and the one thing that we hold on to is all the things that we fight with everyone else about. Listen, you better just accept it. That's just who I am. You better and so when you come into a relationship or you come into life, in a lot of ways, what you do is that you present yourself as your shadow self. You present yourself as your not true self. And then when there's an attitude, when there's an experience, when things fall apart and people see your truth, they're like, well, who are you? Who's this? Because that's not what you presented to the world, and that's not what you were presenting out. And so that whole image, like, I got this, I know this, this is what I'm taking into More Than Existing, because, that rebel in me, that's all of who I am. I'm this, I'm that. And every time that you're saying that, you're trying to say, that's my unique self. But that's the characters. That's the characters that we play in our stories. And so we all play those character roles in those stories until we recognize that we have to ask ourselves a really tough question. And I was talking about this morning in the Women's Bloom about betrayal. Now, I, of course, 2 days before, start betraying my own self by not trusting. And I wrote pages and pages and pages of notes for this 15-minute talk. I got in there and I didn't open the book. So where did I betray myself? I was going to represent myself, as this businesswoman. And I wasn't, and I was I was a little bit untrusting of the channel to behave herself, to show up and speak just what needed to be said instead of what had to be said. And once I started, I knew it was what had to be said and what not, and not about what was written in those books, because a well-scripted life is a charactered life, right? So that well-designed. Now, there's a difference. To spiritually and emotionally mature truly means that you get your thoughts organized. You get organized in here. That cleanliness, that life we live, that's like that next to God, they call it. It's about when you say, you know what, I just work so well and disorganized, I don't need anything organized, I'm perfectly fine. You're trying to convince yourself of something that you have been making work for years, but it may work for the life that you've created, for the story that you live in, but it is the comfortable that keeps you from being able to shift and move beyond, to look at the real truth of, why is your life cluttered? Why is there so much junk? Why do we have so much junk in our heads, so much junk we put in our mouths, so much junk we put on our bodies. Why do we do this? And so a big part of this is that she's holding the last piece. She's the stargazer. And so she's observing this world that she would like to be or that she wants other people to see. But we see through. So having these gifts, having this ability to see beyond is that I see beyond perfection very easily. I see beyond the story. So it's, when I talk about coming into the programs and coming into this work and having a great plan, because, I'm so good at this that I can teach the world and I can tell everybody what to do and I can fix everybody and da 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 da. That person that's constantly trying to stay ahead of everybody. I'm going to be smarter. I'm going to get more education. I'm going to know more, know more, know more, know more. They're so afraid that there's something of that insecurity that they don't want the world to see. And so, and so when you start to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to be real, to be exposed, is that then you start to connect into the soul self. What is it about me that I am so afraid of the world seeing? What is it I'm afraid of within myself? Why am I frustrated with me today? And when we start to come into that alignment, when we start to come into that truth, we start to discover a truth we might not want to see, we might not want to know. And there was a whole lot of me along the journey that I had to get honest with, right? So that the ownership and responsibility that we take of that whole wanting to be in control. Well, I'm always just that kind of bossy kind of person. No, you're afraid of losing control. So when you can let your soul talk to you like that, you can call yourself out on a whole lot of bullshit. So the stargazer is that we are being observed, we're being watched. We do have that tipping point. So yeah, sunshine and butterflies may not always be existing, but we can allow ourselves to be the butterfly. We can allow ourselves to be the dragonfly. We can allow ourselves to see through the eyes of a dragonfly, a butterfly, how vulnerable life really is, how it is such a fragile world that we live in. But they keep going towards the sweet stuff. They keep going towards the things that provide for us the most healthiest of life so that we can live. They go towards what's going to give them the best life while they are here, and not to be in fear of what's going to kill them while they're here. They go towards what will provide for them the beautiful life that they are here to live. They're very aware of what they need to do to protect themselves. They're very aware, but they also know that they have to fly and that they cannot hide. They have to fly to get to the sweet stuff. So we have to be willing to move beyond that ego self. We have to be willing to let go of trying to create the identity through the personas and the characters that we play, and be courageous and brave enough to walk out of the skins, walk out of those shells. It's like unzipping the meat suit and let yourself be seen of everything that we have created. And so, thank you, Mary. So welcome everybody who is joining in with us, that is here with us, including my granddaughter. Good day, good day, good day. And now we're going to pull, this was our opening card that I gave, opening message. I hope it resonated with some people. I do have a card for somebody right away that I had to get all dressed up today, Mary, because I had to speak. As you can see, I really need my hair done though. So, hello, Shayna and Ellie and Lisa, Carlene, hi, and Nikki Lee, hi, and Mary, and everyone else that I've already said hi to. So I know there's also a lot of people who watch who don't comment, and thank you for also being here. Hi to all of you, and to anybody watching later, hi. Please stay till the end. I'm on a time limit today, but I'm taking tomorrow away from live. So I just wanted to get in today and get this one done for you guys. So you've got a card for the day. So, but Regina, I feel like I need to give you a card today, Regina. And so I'm going with Regina first, and I'm taking this card down. I'm going to hide this one. And Regina, I pulled the rebirth card for you, exactly kind of as we were talking about. So the rebirth card came up for you, and this card is the 8. It has the 8 beautiful hearts that I speak about all the time, and it is the rebirth. It is and so I'm going to go I'm going to bring this card up for us as well. You're very welcome. Stay with me here with this story, Regina. You may have to comment on this a little bit, okay? I may need your cooperation in here. So, ha, I think my 0 card is missing. That's hilarious. Okay, so the card is not in the file for me to send in today. So this was a good little, so my file that that Amelia sent me doesn't have this card in the new design. So you're looking at the old design. So so there's an old pattern here for you. And so this card is missing. So there's something of you and your truth that you're living now that you keep talking about. You can't be you because this is missing, or there's something that is missing from your life. If only I have this, if only I have that, if only I'm in that place. And it's like you have many opportunities where I feel like you're getting those, like that sense of how do I put this? So I feel like you got this, like, where you're getting these opportunities to feel the existence of love that was previously around you in human form. So love that was previously around you in human form. That's not Thank you, Lisa. They might be in the TIFF form. They're just not, it's just not in the GIF form. and so and so when I love when those things happens. It makes me chuckle. And so when we what I get is that there's just a sense that, like, what you're missing out on is the opportunity that what you say, if I only had this in human form again, if only I could hold this, if only I could be here, if only. So there's a lot of if only that takes you to going to the past. And this is infinity. So there's a constant, a consistency in that repeat story that you keep going back to. And I keep going to, like, the center of my hand. So it's within your heart, and there you feel as if there's a missing piece of your heart, that sense giving, and it goes all the way back to giving birth. So I don't know if this is around a child or around your childhood, but I feel like it's in the center of your hand. So it's like there's healing that keeps being presented. That's exactly okay. And so there's a healing that keeps being presented to you. And I just keep hearing the song, you have the whole world in your hands, like that. uh, Sunday school, you got the whole world in your hands. And I just feel like there's, like, everything you need and love is still in your hands. Everything you still need and love is in your heart. Everything that you still need is still here. It may not look like it used to look. Life may not look like it used to look, but there's an expectation that you can never ever be like that happiness or that joyful again because of. And that's a statement that you have to start changing. You have to start moving beyond that thoughts, because it's about purifying your thoughts that take you away from the negative, right? Did sing that in Sunday school? Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm getting. Like, this goes all the way back to childhood. This goes all the way back to that little girl in the church pew singing in Sunday school, and that innocent child that you were, and you believed those things. You believed you could have the whole world. But then when things get taken away in life, we think, well, now my world is destroyed. My world is finished. My world is done. I don't have. And I'm just being told that what you have and how you had it before is very different, but you have something more now, and there's something more that's in your hands. And once you can change that thought, you can truly start to fill your heart even more. So I feel like we're, like, threading through your heart. I feel like we're putting, like, these threads through your heart of healing, like we're the piece that you keep rejecting of you now, whether it is the woman part of you or the mother part of you that you keep trying to reject, is that we're kind of the guardians are, like, taking it and sticking it back on. So it's like spit, like you're like a baby spitting out food, right? I don't want to eat that. I don't want that. I don't want to be happy. I don't want to be positive. I don't, and you're It's like you're trying to spit it away from your heart. So we're taking it back. The guardians are taking it back and they're like sticking it back on your heart. And it's like, okay, the Velcro is not working. So now we're going to sew this piece back on. It'll never look like it used to look ever, but it will go back. Was going back. I was speaking at an event this morning. So that's why I wasn't here this morning. And so we're sewing it on so that you can learn to become not attached to what used to be, to becoming accustomed to the new and the purity and the innocence and the unknowing of this new self that is coming in alignment after the. I just feel like it's like what's happening. It's like after the shift. So this with the energy coming into wholeness yesterday, and you're like, I'll never be whole again. I'll never be complete. You'll never be the same kind of wholeness again, but there's a holiness, a wholesomeness, a connection to light. And so holy and wholesome are not the same, right? And so there's this holy sense that it's like, yes, you are imperfectly, put together now, but you are this beautiful light. And so this is a time. So I feel like what we're giving to you today, Regina, is that you're actually receiving a healing today that is bringing you into alignment with your truth, alignment with who you are, and bringing forth um, something of self-love. You have a beautiful angel that's standing behind you through this, holding your hand, guiding you forward. I think you're actually getting your ass kicked forward, pushing you forward. So I feel like we're like being pushed forward. And so it's like you're being pushed forward into this holy life. And so that return to your connection to whatever your faith is also about you having faith in you. And I feel like this is the divine mother. This is definitely Mother Mary energy, because the same Mother Mary energy that comes. So it is wholeness, it is zero, and it's the same, and purity, same Mother Mary energy that comes when we're going through a big transformation and kind of having to let things break away. I feel like everything was already broken away. You were just afraid to put the pieces back into place. So today it is as if the pieces are put in place the best way that they can be, and nothing ever goes back the way that it was supposed to be. It may appear, you may not be as big in personality, you may not be as big in this and that, but the smaller the size, the more space for that light, just like that, just like our diamond, just like my diamond effect work. So more space for that light to illuminate. So the light within becomes bigger and brighter and can be seen in a much bigger way. And that's what's happening with you. So much, much love. Thank you for that. And please always remember, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not here to solve the world's problems or anyone else's. I give this guidance and these messages, and you also have a free will. Never, ever let anyone take away your free will. No one can do that. Even if they're hypnotizing you, even if they're doing hypnotherapy with you, you always have your free will. The only ways that you give that up is if you make a choice and you choose to just not use it. So mhm. Hold on. I might have to go a couple minutes earlier than what I thought I did. Okay, so I'm going to pull one last card here because it looks like I'm going to have to leave us as I'm answering live. So you never know what lives are going to bring. But I'm going up to Catherine. Catherine was the very first person in, and I have a card for Catherine today. Ha! And Catherine, your card fell out of the pack. And remember, you said your very first statement you were praying today, praying that you would catch this live. Well, it was so true, Regina. Good. Much, much love to you too. Thank you. So, Catherine, so your card is the everyday miracle. She is card. This card loves to play with us. This card is all over us the last few days. And this is definitely that energy. So, Catherine, I really have this sense of like for you in this new energy that's coming is I keep hearing freedom. That's what I want to sing. Is that song freedom? Just freedom. Like really setting yourself free. There is like a freedom from a burden that has been holding you captive in a part of your design, that personal authority of the roles you play, the character that you have to play. I am this, so I need to be this kind of responsible. I have to be like in charge, always trying to, do the right things for the right reasons. I met this amazing woman this morning, and I feel like she kind of reminds me of you somehow. And she works as I think she works as like a um um she works as like humanitarian work type of thing. But she was that strong presence of saying, when she sometimes walks into a room, she's like that person that people kind of like to reject or they don't connect to right away. And I feel like somewhere in your story, Catherine, there's that. It's like sometimes not everybody connects to you right away or don't get you right away, don't understand you. And it's like that is the guard that you have presented to the world. That is the part of you. So I don't know if you're also an Aries energy or if you're tied to a fire sign energy, because you have this fire that floods through your brain, like through your body. And and so um hello. And so this is what's flowing through you and flooding through you is this powerful, this like cleanse, like that violet flame energy. It is like transmuting that energy for you. That it's that your strong presence and who you are is here to kind of, you're here to make people second guess themselves a little bit, and not in a way of like to be judgy or anything, but just in a way to say, are you sure that's a good decision? Are you sure that's what you want to do? And so you see that truth beyond. So there's something very powerful in you, and you get this from your grandmother, is what I'm being told. You have a grandmother who very much has this same gifted energy, and so you get that gift from her. And I don't know where or how, but I see like kicking around like almost like the dust bowl is what I want to say, like that dust bowl-y kind of energy. So when it's deserted, when it's desert, when it's depleted, it's like things dry up. So there is like when there's nothing left, you got to move on. When there's no water, it's like you got to keep. And so sometimes we keep using our little dowsing sticks trying to find water and trying to search, and we don't want to quit. And everybody else will walk away and they'll quit. And you're someone who don't just quit. You don't walk away when things get tough. You're someone who sticks it out, and you're someone who stays with that. And so you're being told that those dowsing sticks, like that are of you, that spidey senses that you have, don't give up on those spidey senses. Everything that you reflect is a truth. And so that grandmother is like, she's leading you towards your well water, your wishes. Whatever those wishes are in that wishing well, you are being guided towards that. And it's not to put out your fire, and so it's not to put out a fire. And wherever everything else is depleted and done, you're going to be nourishing your wishes, your life this time, not everybody else's. So there's something of a past life that's coming up here with this for you. And so that you are the miracle in a lot of people's lives. This grandmother energy, I don't know if she's your grandmother or she's a great grandmother, but man, she is such like a strong homesteader kind of energy. Like she's like, I'm like, I almost could see her in one of those Western movies that she could survive anything, is what we're being told. And she is like your guardian. She walks right behind you. She's larger than life right here. She might only be small, but she's large. And so she's like leading you. So you and your little dowsing sticks, like little spidey senses that you have, is being led towards water. What your flame will do is it's going to light up the water in the well. So whatever is deep down there, your light is here to show you, to expose. You're here to expose something. That's your grandmother Beatrice? Look, we even got a Beatrice in the cards, right? And so she is. So she is like your everyday miracle. And she's telling you that whatever's at the bottom of that well that keeps you from living your best life is going to be exposed for you. And it's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And she says, trust me, those dowsing sticks, you are being led to that perfect life. So I got a couple more minutes. I got to go. What comes in your head and speak. And yeah. And so Beatrice is in the cards as well. If anyone's been following the cards, we have a card named Beatrice in here. Okay, can't make this shit up. We got the same card that I first came in with, Catherine. What I pulled when you very first came in. So I think this was always supposed to be, this message was also supposed to be very big for you as well. And just bringing her back up on the screen. So you also have that alignment. So for your truth, there is something that is coming into alignment with you. Be patient. You can't rush good things. So it's like, just be patient. Let the stinky, let the depleted, let the old energy, let all that go. Leave it behind. It's not going to serve you in this new you. It's not going to serve you in this new future. You have a brilliant mind. And that brilliant mind sometimes carries a lot of history and a lot of stories and a lot of human knowledge and a lot of laws and regulations that keeps you regulated. Like kind of like you think things through a lot. And it's like, yeah, this brilliant mind is going to really blend well with the wisdom. And I just feel like it's right here. And it's like, you're just going to be like, all you're going to have to do is open your hand and let it drop into the well. And it's going to drop in. I know there's a lot of symbolic to this, and it's because the whole picture has not fully come to life. That's how they show it to me. And that's how they give it to you. And there will be a representation, like a symbolic of the water, the well, and those type of things that'll be there. And they tell me that it has a lot to do with a turtle as well. There's a turtle very much involved. So I don't know if you're tied somehow to Turtle Island, to the Turtle Island stuff of our Aboriginal life. I don't know if that resonates with you somehow, but you have so much that this answers. Perfect. Okay. Really, really trust that you are being wrapped in that divine, beautiful, loving energy of the everyday miracle. And she is her own creation. And whatever it is that you're creating, whatever you're walking towards, it is being guided towards you today. Just know that. So, yay. So let's take these cards down. And I can do one more very, very quickly. And I know exactly who I'm going to. So, Stacy Churchill. I hope you're still here. Stacy Churchill. Let it be. Yes, exactly. Catherine, when I purchased my flatbed, I heard the word Frida. And I didn't understand. Yes, I overthink. Very tricky situation. And I have gone from fear to calm and fear to hope. That, right? You've been known as the turtle? Yeah, well, look what the turtle survives, right? Stay the turtle. Yes, right. Those messages do go together somehow here. You're very, very welcome. There will not be drought. You will not live in drought. You will find the water and all will be well. Frida, see? And Frida is an observer. She's one of the Palladians energy, or the guardian energy that's watching over us. So Stacy, if you're still here, Stacy Churchill, this card, you got the performer, and you got Sasha, and she's also in the 3. And so a bit of infinity energy here as well. And so this beautiful performer, what she is telling me, what she has shown me, We're still gonna give Stacy the card just in case she is here. But you can take it for you too, Lisa. You can have it for you, Miss Lisa Star Francis. And so she is the performer. Um, and so she really telling you that, she's got that beautiful hawk eye, that ability to see, but she can become her own worst enemy sometimes. And sometimes she puts on the show, and sometimes that show gets to be a little bit much and a little bit exhausting. Sometimes you need to just take it all off, let yourself be shown as where you are, what energy you're living in right now. And that, it's that whole just letting the love come over your shoulders, letting yourself be embraced in the love when you take off the performer's clothes, when you take off the armor, the clothing, the image, the face we need to put on for the world, and just let in this love and let this love wrap around, and just let there be a beautiful, peaceful energy that just instills into the heart. That's the message. So, I'm going to validate it with one last card. And this is for everybody. So this card will be for everybody. So hang on in here now, Lisa. You know this card might resonate with you. And also, I have not posted about this yet. Or maybe I did. So I have another, no, it's up. It's up. So I have another Goddess Within Soul Revival coming up. And it's another 4-week course. It's 144. It is Sunday mornings, 11:30. It is live. It's recorded for those who can't get in. And all you need to bring is your journal. There's no notes. There's no real homework. It's just you and your journal. And it's 4 weeks of learning that connection from the soul. And this one is like, it's the last time I did finding those pieces of us. And this time we're going to do the soul talk. And that one is starting in April. Also April the 21st, I think around there, my Diamond Effects is going to be launching. We haven't fully launched the whole sign up for that yet. Just putting it out there that it is in the school as well. And that one's going to be a much bigger program. And that one's being able to rewrite that story. And yeah, there's a lot more. And also, if you always see Lisa Richard in here and her work that she does, Loving Energy Recharge, Lisa also has just, hooray to Lisa, she's just started out even expanding on her business. And if you go to her website or her Facebook page, you can see all the new stuff that she also has her programs out now in her school stuff in her school. And so does Michelle Gibson. A whole bunch of my students are truly starting to step out and starting to step up. Tracy Leggett, who you often see and hear, same thing. She's healing practices with Tracy. There's a lot that is happening, and I'll try to share some of their work in here. And of course, my Lisa Star Francis and the word alchemy. There's a lot of women supporting women right now, and I think it's very important. And men. I also support the men as well. We posted the other day about a video that was about homelessness, and that was in the UK that was being hosted. And so there's so many things out there right now that if we work together, if we all work together, it's amazing what we can do when we bring our energy to be of love and support for each other. So ending card goes all the way back to wholeness and coming home to full circle, the home to us, coming back to us. We know we don't have this card. This is fine. This was the missing piece, is that when we allow love, have compassion and guidance, have compassion and kindness for even ourselves. After you go through a big change, after you have to go through like that stage of being born into whoever you are after an event, after something happens, or after giving birth to a child, or when your life changes, there's this pause period. And that pause period, everybody tries to rush past that pause period. Everybody tries to push things beyond that. And we don't really recognize how powerful, or how much power of love is in those moments. If we stop, pause, take silence time, take quiet time, the world is not going to forget us. And it's every time you think you're going to be forgotten, and I better get back out there, I better be in contact with my friends, I better get knowing, the world will not forget us, because what is ours cannot be taken away. So what is meant to be us, what we are meant to be in our true truth, once we align to that, and once we start to walk as our truth, and that means really truly learning to call yourself out. Once you can learn to live as that truth and walk there, there is a life and a happiness that is there for us. Oh, and there's late to the party coming in here. There's Krista, who who has Essentials by Krista, who sells some amazing oils. Another student of More Than Existing, who also has her own business. So I'm going to try to share in one big post like all of these beautiful students who are achieving and accomplishing as inspiration to everyone else. You don't want to be somebody else. You want to be the best version of you. And there's such truth to that. And these women are stepping up to be the best versions of them and are also now empowering and inspiring others as well, which fills my heart to know that in my journey of More Than Existing, I've been able to guide others to take their journey to More Than Existing. So do not be a master manipulator of your own mind and try to be somebody else today. Be the best version of you today. Don't let your shadow, don't let the parts of you that you don't want to let go of, don't let that be leading your way, or don't be holding on so tight to the fear and insecurities. Today, come forth as you and let yourself shine. Tomorrow, I don't think I'll be in. I got a lot of work to do. Yes. And so get on track for this. It's like you can get on track all you want, but you're not in control. But you can get prepared, clear the clutter, get organized in your thoughts. Know what is triggering you is a beeper, is a beeper inside of you to say, hey, you're getting too close to being empty. It's time to stop and refuel. It is time to stop and think about that word. Time to stop and think about that process. Time to stop, pause, reflect. Is that going to serve the highest good? What is going to be of the highest good for me today? And go there today. And to my little Sadie, if you're still watching, Nana loves you. Okay. Thank you guys. And I will see you tomorrow. I have to go now. And Lisa Star Francis, I'll have to call you later. Go have lunch before I do anything else with my partner. I love you guys. Bye-bye.